So for thousands of years, people have blown through tiny tubes and made noise. I carry on that tradition today. My name is Jacob Hemingway, and I play French horn. While I was auditioning at a lot of colleges this year for music scholarships, I had the pleasure of being able to see many historical instrument collections, and it got me wondering, what the history of my own instrument was, the history of the French horn. So I did some research. My purpose today is to help you understand how the French horn began and evolved into what it is today, so that someday, when you're on Jeopardy and Alex Trebek asks you, when was the hand horn invented? You can answer, what is 1753? And you'll make a lot of money. So I'd like to educate you about the beginnings of the instrument, the evolution of the instrument, and the uses of the modern instrument. From animal horns to tubes to really, really long coiled tubes. So let's start with the definition. Horn is defined by the concise Oxford Dictionary of Current English as a non-deciduous excrescence often curved and pointed on the head of cattle, sheep, goats, and other mammals. And if you're wondering, what that has to do with the big long tube that I blow into every day, it's got the same origins. The first horns were made out of animal horns on people's heads, or on animals' heads. By cutting a hole in the animal's horn and hollowing it out, blowing into it could create a sound, and an instrument could be played. The first instruments were generally used in ancient Israel. They're mentioned as far back as the Torah. This is a shofar. It's made from any kosher animal's horns. By hollowing it out, you can play it. It's used in the Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. Later on, in the 16th century, people used metal horns like this. They're called hunting horns, and they're exactly what they sound like. People used them on the hunt. King Louis XIV played his hunting horn while he was hunting. That's according to the Royal Antwerp's Hunting Horn Society. I translated that. From this, we evolved into the natural horn. This is when we started using them as musical instruments more than just horn calls on a hunt. It was invented in 1753 by a German named Hampel, according to Mary Bellis from ThoughtCode.com. It's very vague to trace back where these instruments came from, because a lot of different people created a lot of different things, but this is generally what is accepted by most historians. The natural horn incorporated crooks, which is what you see there. They came in all different shapes and sizes. The longer the crook, the lower the sound you got. The shorter the crook, the higher the sound you got. Around this time, people also started calling these hand horns, because that's when people started putting their hand in the bell, and you could change how it sounded based on that. And that's what they used to play those. This evolved into the piston horn later on. It was created in 1839 by Francis Perronnet. This is according to Harold Meek in his book. It featured piston valves and a lot of tubes. And basically what the piston valves do is they act as, what I showed you earlier, crooks. So instead of having to take off a crook and put another one on, you could just switch down your thumb, switch down each finger, and it would change the crook. It was very efficient. But it wasn't as efficient as the rotary valve horn, which uses rotating valves, such as what you find in a car. All you do is you push down the valve, it rotates the valve, and it can change the direction from which the air comes. And this changes the note. It makes it a lot more efficient than pushing down a giant hunky valve like a piston. So the modern models we have today are called single horns. These are 3 rotary valves. It has no thumb trigger. These are generally student models because there's not a lot of cost. They're pretty cheap. They're easy to play, and there's not a lot of technicality that goes into it, like with a standard double horn. These come pitched in B flat or F, either one. The triple horn is like the regular horn on steroids. It's got the 3 main rotary valves plus 2 thumb valves, a total of 5 valves. They come pitched in F, B flat, and E flat. So rather than one or the other, it's got three pitches. Along the way, there were a lot of failures to get to what we call the modern French horn. These are all classified as omnitonic horns, basically meaning they tried to accomplish what the people who made the piston valve and the rotary valve horns, they tried to accomplish that without using the valves. I don't understand how they work, they're just crazy, but look at that and be thankful for what we have today, which is the modern double horn. This is the most common French horn that you'll see. It's played by all professionals from all walks of life. They're made with 3 standard rotary valves plus the additional 1 thumb valve. They're pitched in both B flat and F, and what the thumb valve does is it switches between the two. Edmund Gumpert and Fritz Crespi are credited with crafting the first double horns. So in conclusion, I talked to you about the beginnings of the horn, how it evolved into what it is today, and the types of horns that we use today in modern society. I hope you've retained some of this information so that if you're on a game show and the question about French horn is asked, you'll have the prize-winning answer and you can share some of that money with me. Thank you.